Thanks for logging on to NeoWeather.com on this Sunday, February 17th, 2013. I'm Jim Sullivan with your video forecast. This little surprise snowstorm that we saw is winding down. We're going to have rain by tomorrow night and maybe some ice later in the week. We'll look at all that and more coming right up. Starting off today looking at what's going on across the region, lake effect snow showers continue in our secondary and primary snow belt with temperatures rising up towards 20. Still some clouds across most of the area. There is some sun breaking out here across western and southern Ohio. And as we zoom on in, as you look at Lake Erie, you see this white stuff that isn't moving. That's actually ice cover. However, there is some open water here near the southern shore, which was enough to spark off that lake effect last night that ended up dropping upwards of 8 inches in portions of central Lorain County and central Geauga County. It was really a nice little event. And let's look at the snow totals now. This is the snow on the ground as of this morning. Since most of the snow fell last night, this is a pretty good representation. The snow will start settling once it's on the ground for more than a few hours, especially this lake effect fluff. However, you see anything that is in that second shade of blue that is more than 3 inches of snow, that's 3 to 6, and anything in the darkest shade of blue, those are the ones that really stand out. There are 4 reports of that is over 6 inches. So a lot of areas saw 2 to 4 inches, but the corridor from central Lorain County through central Medina County, northern Summit, southern Cuyahoga, out into northern Portage and Geauga County saw a widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow. This was a bit unexpected. We weren't sure how much lake effect would occur with the frozen lake, but as you can see, it occurred quite nicely last night, several inches across the whole area. Looking at your numbers for today, yesterday we were below normal again, 5 to 7 degrees below normal. We had 0.23 of an inch of precipitation at Hopkins yesterday. That was in the form of 4.1 inches of snow, and there was more after midnight at Hopkins. We are still running below normal precip on the month and year at Hopkins. And looking at the rest of your Sunday, we aren't going to do much better temperature-wise. In fact, we might be a little colder than yesterday across the region, with temperatures in the lower to middle 20s. However, the lake effect snow will slowly continue to wind down with sun coming out, especially outside of the snow belt, and by this evening a lot of us will be seeing some sunshine. Tonight should be dry. It'll be very cold though. If we can clear out tonight, I think lower teens, upper single digits is attainable across the area. And as we head towards Monday, after that cold start tomorrow, a system from the west is going to approach, bringing in a southwesterly flow ahead of it into Ohio. So tomorrow, President's Day, some of you have off, is going to be much warmer in the upper 30s to maybe near 40 in the evening, with mainly dry conditions at least through tomorrow afternoon. On our 7-day forecast, you can see what that warm-up looks like tomorrow. If you have the day off, enjoy it. It won't be a bad day. However, tomorrow evening, rain quickly moves ahead as the next system wraps up to our northwest. Picking this up on our maps in motion now, starting tomorrow evening, you can see that big warm push of air ahead of our next storm system. However, that doesn't last long. As we head towards Tuesday, that storm system wraps up toward north and brings in more cold air. Tuesday and Wednesday will be cold, and as we head towards later in the week, a big system is going to come out of the west, and you can still see our previous system sitting here over New England trying to throw cold air back into our area. So even though this big system, as I move this forward here, Thursday into Friday is going to go well to our northwest, this is the pattern at about 18,000 feet, these lines. That correlates to a low pressure tracking somewhere towards Chicago. Even though the storm's going way to our northwest, and we will see a warm push of air, this big low that's sitting here is going to try and trap surface high pressure to our north, and that's going to funnel cold air in at the surface. So later in the week, because of that high pressure expected to sit to our north, we are worried about some icing Thursday night into Friday morning. Now eventually, we'll probably go over to all rain at some point on Friday, and then as we head towards Saturday, cooler air filters back in, and we'll probably change back over to light snow at some point. However, we're going to be watching for late week icing real closely here over the next few days. Coming back now and looking at that in 7-day forecast format, you can see the falling temperatures on Tuesday, a little light lake effect snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. Right now, I'm not thinking it'll be quite as frisky as the snow we saw last night. Thursday, a dry day, but still cold, and then Thursday night and Friday, we may see a period of ice or snow, going over to all rain on Friday before the cooler air filters back in for the weekend, and we see more snow showers during the weekend. Again, I'm Jim Sullivan. Thanks for logging on. Check us out again tomorrow.